2018, December 4th, Jay-Z's birthday. The God. We got Abu Ali, the top billion trillionaire, financial advisor, life coach on the phone. This is edition 1 of Shit Talk Radio webcast. I'm gonna smoke me a cigarette. We're gonna make it do what it don't do. Got this bottle of Hennessy that was given to me as a gift for my birthday, which is next month. So I need Rock Nation. I need Jay and your people to send me a couple cases, man, so I can push the brand, baby. Always been about to do say. If I do say so myself. Hey, man, I could have said it better. So, yeah, we gotta keep all the bullshit aflush. So, on this forum, Shit Talk Radio, I plan to touch on many topics, many subjects. I'll be doing interviews with people that are
like the crack of the whip, I snap attack, front to back, in this thing called rap. Nigga like a shovel rhyme double on a heavenly level, bang the bass. I'll be
doing interviews with people who are very influential in pop culture, international icons, people who have messages that I feel that my audience needs to hear. I must say now that my target market is probably age 25 and up, primarily from the urban diaspora. There's ghettos all over the world. As George Benson told you, the world is the ghetto. That might actually be my theme song. I haven't figured it out yet. But the whole world is the ghetto, so it doesn't matter where you are in the world. We all deal with poverty. We all deal with disparity. We all deal with the struggle, and the struggle is always against those who have money, wealth, and power, who are not doing anything or the best that they can do to lend us the hand and the fairness that we need. We don't need anybody to do us any favors. We just need the playing field to be fair. I just got done reading an article where in the 1800s, America gave whites hundreds of millions of acres for free under the Homestead Act. And at the same time, black people had to pay for 15 million square acres of land during the same period of time, and white people got it for free. So long as the playing field is not level, then we're gonna always be dealing with the devil. Can you dig it? Yeah, right. So I just want to let you know, I also will be starting this out, Shit Talk Radio, where you keep the bullshit aflush. I'll be starting out as a weekly. So this will be a weekly post initially. Eventually, hopefully we can get it with the right support to be a daily podcast.
Let's get straight into it, man.
Yeah, let's get right into it.
Good question for you.
You got a question for me?
Bullshit of flesh.
All right, Abu Ali, what's the question?
So, how, if we just got some real major game and we now on the level of playing field, even level playing field, right? So how do one beat being broke mentally so that they can be rich financially? How do a person beat being broke? Because that's a lot of bullshit people be dealing with being broke right now. How do you beat being broke mentally?
How you beat being broke? Well, first of all, the opposite of broke is being enriched. Not rich. Enriched. So, before you can become wealthy, fiscally speaking, you must be enriched spiritually and emotionally. And what you see, a prime example of this is people who become rich who have not been enriched, who quickly lose their riches because the enrichment didn't come before the richness. Can you dig it? So these are the people who are not responsible in how they handle the riches. Mike Tyson, for example. MC Hammer, for another example. We go on and on because people believe that money brings happiness. And yes, Madoff is another example. Money is not happiness. Money is not happiness at all. If you recall years ago, one of the DuPonts was cooped up in a multi-million-dollar estate, and he committed a murder. And his punishment was to be cooped up in his estate. You got a guy who's from a multi-trillionaire family, who has a legacy that goes back over 150 years, had all the money in the world, all the power in the world, but was miserable. So
before you get the riches, you got to get enrichment.
Yes, you must be enrichment. And the enrichment is simply, I see now, I'm glad you asked me that question, Abu. I see now that there's this push going on around the world targeted towards black people where they say mental health. There's this mental health issue. And, dealing with poverty, dealing with crime, the first thing they do for white people is, he was bullied as a kid. That's why he killed 27 people in the school. And so they push the mental health issue forward for white people. But when it's a black person who is a victim of a crime, specifically police shootings, they bring up the dirt of his past, which is quite common in urban areas where we are victims of a system that is set out to attack us and make us victims of the laws and the statutes that's been put in place adverse to us. So nevertheless, I want to say this to the black and brown people in the world, that you do not get caught up in the mental health trick bag. The entire science of mental health was designed and developed by Europeans. It was the same science that told you 50 years ago that black people were not human. It was the same science that told you that we are inadequate to be quantified as human beings. It's the same science that rendered us 3/5 of a man. And it's a purely European science that has always, since the beginning of its inception, been slighted against black and brown people. So don't get caught up in this psychiatry trick bag, because it means you're no good.
That's another dissertation for the people. So before you get to riches, you got to be enrichment, right? So what is some things that people can do to start practicing?
And that's what I was getting to. I was getting to that. The reason I was talking about the psychology and the mental health issue that's been prevalent is because for thousands of years, before psychology became a science, which is a westernized agent, we had spirituality. And there was no need for psychology. There was no issue with mental health, because the spiritualists, the master teachers, knew the value and the importance of simple things that we take for granted now, like fasting, prayer, meditation, yoga, breathing. That is your mental health. That is your balancement. That is how you get enriched, by looking inward into yourself to get back through yourself.
Hey, that's church on the move. That's definitely good. Somebody that's listening, keep the bush to the flesh.
Keep the bush to the flesh. Tabernacle.
So dealing with bullshit, we got another question, man.
Yes, sir.
Now let's say, because you know it's about they created no romance, no finance. How that go? No finance, no romance.
No romance without finance.
Yeah, no money, no honey, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you say to the average Joe Blow? Got a girl
How does he keep the bullshit aflush?
How does he keep the bullshit aflush, man? That's what people want to know.
Well, you know what? I'm going to be quite honest. If you have a man who has a woman at home and he's doing all he can to provide for his family, and he's been doing all he can to provide for his family, and his woman is not at his beck and call, then one or two things has to happen. He has to change, or she has to change. But something's got to change. She can change her disposition, and he can change his zip code. Tabernacle.
Right. And then, tabernacle. And then, like, on the flip side of that, if you got a woman who's playing, she got a guy who has bitch assness, and he's not stepping up to the plate, and she's playing his role and her role, how does she keep that bullshit afloat so she don't get, lost in her thoughts, trying to be the man and the woman?
I'll explain. See, what happens is people think because you've known somebody for a while that means that you know them. I've heard about situations where a couple have been married for 20 years and she didn't know her husband was gay. So what happens is we need to realize this. Let me pour me a cup of this anything, because anything can happen. You did. The jungle juice. Love me some cognac. Love me some cognac. Yeah, I seen you fighting in Walmart for the alkaline water. Salute. L'chaim. So what happens is, what we find is people are so used to being in a relationship, they fell out of love with themselves, or they never loved themselves enough to be alone. And they fear being alone because they don't love themselves enough to be alone. So they'll rather settle for the bullshit, the bitch assness, than be alone. So that's why women would rather deal with a fuck nigga who they've known for a while, just because they know all this bullshit. They know where all the bodies is buried, than to be alone or to start again over with a relationship that might actually work out and be better for her. She'd rather be with the bitch assness. But that's her fear. See, people think that comfortability is progress. But nothing grows in a comfort zone. Nothing. There is no progress with comfort. I'm trying to tell you, I got a saying. I got a saying in one of my rhymes. I say that you fuck a fuck nigga for free and want to charge a real nigga a fee. Yeah. But yeah, that's just it's all about being comfortable with yourself and loving yourself. And not being afraid of being alone. I've been single for a long time, bro. My
raise your expectations and your self-standards, and the universe raised with you.
Exactly. And sometimes, yeah. No, go ahead. No, I think that I've grown to such an exponential percentage that now I'm seeing, my potential other half is on the other side of the world. I see these beautiful women in other countries, mentally tight, because it all starts in the mind. Don't get it twisted. Everything starts mentally, and these are the things that appeal to me. So when I get in a position to actually travel like I would like to travel, you know, the universe has got to respond to where I belong or who belongs here, you know, and who I belong with. So I just let the universe do its job, but in the meantime, we have to do our job. You know, we have the divine vocation, and we have to follow that. We have to pursue that, you know, and make no excuses.
Make no excuses. You can't make money and excuses. You gotta choose one. And speaking of making money and excuses, this is my last question, but it's that keeping the bullshit afloat.
Okay.
What advice do you have to somebody who has a job, which is just over broke, that's scared to take that leap of faith so they can be their own boss?
Okay, I have an answer for that. Which is good news for some and bad news for others. Unfortunately, everybody can't be a boss. Because if everybody was a boss, who the fuck gonna work for me? See, we got too many chiefs and not enough Indians. So to answer your question, some people that have jobs were meant to have jobs, were meant to be just over broke. The problem I'm having with this Renaissance movement of Afrocentricity is everybody's preaching we kings and queens. Like there was no bums in ancient Egypt. Like there were no farmers and blacksmiths and carpenters in ancient Egypt who could read and write. You know, we got to be realistic about this shit. I don't believe in being optimistic. I don't believe in being pessimistic. I hold fast to being realistic. I'm not going to pump no gas in nobody to blow their head up, and I'm not going to unfairly talk down to anybody. I'm just going to be brutally honest. And that's what this podcast is all about. Keeping the bullshit aflush. Shit talk radio. 82.6 on your IM dial. Imperial Prince here with our featured guest today, Abu Ali, Money Coach TV on Instagram, Top Billing Trillionaire. We just trying to bring the real, man. We want to have conversations with each other for the world to hear and with the world that you don't have on a normal daily basis because you got a bunch of fuck bitch assness niggas around you, dumb bitches that love drama. People need to hear the real shit. We take things for granted, but somebody somewhere in the world is thirsty for this type of dialogue, thirsty for facts, thirsty for truth. You know, thirsty to know the difference between a conspiracy and facts. So my job right now in this venue is to bring forth facts. It's to let people see the realness of where we are and where we're going and what we're supposed to be doing. And the realness of what's around us and what's against us. So that we can do what we're supposed to do.
That's how you know the greatest words that one could ever have. The fun. So hey, I appreciate you helping me keep doing this bullshit as much. God, right?
And I appreciate you, Abu, for joining us today on our premiere podcast. And we're going to push this and try and get as many people involved in our dialogue. We look forward to input from anybody. Please like and follow. And check us out on a weekly basis. And let's see what happens, man. I'm looking forward to hearing any suggestions that anybody might have. I'm looking forward to answering any questions that anybody might want to submit. If you want to call in and talk to us live, we can also make arrangements for that. But this is a good thing. It's a positive thing, and I want to move it in the right direction. Thanks a lot, Abu Ali. And we're going to keep the bullshit aflush. All right? All right, what do?